I'd like to call the meeting to order, and Allison told me a little while ago that there is some potentially bad weather, tornadoes in the area. So I think we need to decide where we're gonna go if they happen to, and I think is the mechanical room, Rich, the place to go?
I would think so. Do you think so?
There, there's no windows there.
No bathrooms.
So,
No, the bathrooms
That
are
is-
too close to
or the
the house.
Yeah,
bathrooms.
that's
Those
right
are
close to the
way-
outside wall. If we can make it to the bathroom,
Or
or the mechanical room, that would be where we'd go. And we'd
Okay.
instruct you all where to go.
yeah. So we're not gonna take any chances if, Alice says
That
she'll
would be
come
the
back and
safest.
tell us what's going on. Okay, first thing on the agenda is to accept a library board trustee resignation. And, I received this from Mary Gajiva. And so Mary is no longer on the board, and as she held a very important, position on the board at this time, I have talked to Rich, preceding this meeting, and he is willing to take on, the position of treasurer. So at this time, I would like to appoint Rich Appleby, as our new board trustee, so. Treasurer, excuse me. So I would like to make a motion to accept Mary's resignation with regret,
What's the effective date on that, please?
December 3rd.
Okay, December 3rd is the effective date, okay.
I need a second for that.
I'll second.
Okay, Ann Barcy, second.
It has been moved by Paula Freepartner and seconded by Ann Barcy to accept the resignation effective December 3rd of trustee Mary Grisheva. Roll call vote?
Mhm.
Yes. Okay, Freepartner?
Yes.
Barcy?
Yes.
Weber?
Yes.
Hobbs?
Yes.
Appleby?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's just roll call and.
Yes.
That for our presence.
Roll call vote, not vote, roll call for, attendance.
Attendance.
Okay, for attendance. Richard Appleby?
Present.
Yes. Ann Barcy?
Present.
Paula Freepartner?
Present.
Lynn Hobbs?
Present.
Margie Weber?
Present.
And Carolyn Kinsella.
Thank you. Are there any corrections or changes to the agenda?
I would like to ask or move that we, if possible, move the executive session to the beginning of the meeting.
I think we need a discussion on that because, what time is your band concert?
It is at 7 o'clock.
Well, I just don't think there's enough time to do all the business we need to do in executive session and get you out of here on time.
Though I would like to hear what Ms. Weber has to say on things in executive session.
Well, if
But we
you're not
can do-
here, you're not here. That's basically.
I
it.
understand, but she would be here for 25 minutes to just begin the discussion of executive session.
Well, let's take a roll call on it so
Okay,
that we
I
know
would like to-
everybody's,
Okay.
feelings on it.
Well, then I moved.
We need a
that-
second, then I moved to.
Okay, you
And then-
moved, okay, and
and
I'll
then you
second,
second.
okay.
Can we get public comment in real quick?
No.
Okay, roll call vote for that. Weber,
Yes.
Hobbs,
Yes.
Appleby,
Yes.
Barcy,
Yes.
Freepartner?
Yes.
Okay, Kinsella, yes.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
if, we are going to go into, executive session, I would like to let you know that you can go into the library. The library is open until 8 o'clock, so instead of going outside, unless you really want to, feel free to go in and, check out materials there.
At the end, we'll
Yeah,
come out and grab you.
Right.
absolutely. are now to public comment.
Okay, I have something to comment on. I
Sure.
saw, through Hoyas that Margie was, there was talk about the AUP committee, and I saw where you posted, that there were 2 people appointed to the AUP committee, and you referred to Margie as far as, her going rogue. I don't understand why you would refer to her going rogue just because she can think for herself. And I don't understand why she was taken off the AEP committee. She's the one that did all of the background research and headed it up. I think that's being a bully, and I think you're abusing your position, and I think you should resign, or at least step down from the president position. It's not right, Paula. And I also wanted to mention to all of the people that are on the board, I hope they carry insurance on all of you, because of everything that's happened in the past. The previous director was fired for altering invoices. She didn't pass out, I believe it was $675 worth of gift certificates to the employees at one Christmas party. And there were invoices that were doctored. And there's Jennifer was fired, and I think she was fired unjustly by this director and the former president. And I think there should have been a second look taken at that. I used to come into the library all the time before I got my Kindle. And I would check out books, and Bonnie would sit at the desk and totally ignore me. I could have a stack of books, and she would just sit there numerous times and ignore me. And out of nowhere, Jennifer would come and always wait on me. Jennifer has always had an excellent reputation in this town. She's a hard worker. She's honest. Above all, she's honest. She's very thorough, and I think it's a sin that she didn't even get a hearing. Nobody asked for her side of anything. I believe she was set up by this former director. And if I were her in her shoes, I would be getting the best attorney that was out there, and I would be coming after this board collectively and individually. So I sure hope you're all insured.
Okay, anyone
But
else?
I have to tell you, shame on you for not having, well, I think it's a sin that what you did, Margie. I think Rich and I think Ann are gonna be great members of the committee, but that was really, well, you know, it's almost like, don't cross Paula, whatever you do, don't make her mad, because that's what she's gonna do to you. So don't have a voice. That's what it looks like to me. Shame on you, but Merry Christmas.
Anyone else? Donna?
Yes, I have a question. Is our patronage up or is it down?
Those will come later.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Later.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Is that it then? Okay. We are now to the approval of the minutes. The first set of minutes is the regular board meeting minutes of November 17th. Any additions or corrections? Hearing none, I need a motion then to approve the minutes.
I'll make that a motion to approve.
Go ahead. You wanna
I'll make
do
that
it?
a motion to approve, yeah.
You want to do a second on that, Lynn?
Sure, I'll second.
Awesome.
All right, it has been moved by Barcy and seconded by Hobbs to approve the minutes for the November 17th regular board meeting as presented. Roll call vote, Barcy,
Yes.
Hobbs,
Yes.
Appleby,
Yes.
Pre-partner,
Yes.
Kinsella, yes.
You should tell
Oh, I'm sorry, Margie had to leave this evening for, her son is, they're doing their band concert this evening for Christmas. And the students, we should be very proud of them because they are actually handling it themselves because their director has COVID, so it's amazing. And our
Yeah.
kids are amazing. Okay, we're on to the next one then.
Yes.
Okay, Carolyn handed out the executive session minutes for the November 17th, 2021 board meeting, and are there any additions or corrections? Okay, a motion then?
Go ahead, I'll second.
Go Lynn.
Go ahead.
Moved by
Lynn.
Lynn, and second by Ann.
Yeah.
Roll call?
Barcy in here. Hobbs,
Yes.
Barcy,
Yes.
Appleby.
Yes.
Kinsella, yes. Free Partner.
Yes. Okay, moving on to the November 20th, 2021 Building and Maintenance Committee meeting minutes. Are there any additions or corrections?
I move that we approve the Building and Maintenance Committee meetings as submitted.
Second.
Roll
Uh,
call.
Roll call vote. Kinsella, yes. Appleby.
Yes.
Hobbs.
Yes.
Barcy.
Yes.
Free Partner.
Yes. The November 29th, 2021 Personnel Committee meeting minutes. Are there any additions or corrections? Okay, hearing none, a motion?
I'll make the
Okay,
motion.
Lynn, second?
I'll second it.
Okay, Ann?
Okay, it's been moved by Hobbs and seconded by Barcy to accept the November 29th Personnel Committee meeting minutes as submitted. Hobbs.
Yes.
Barcy.
Yes.
Free Partner.
Yes.
Appleby.
Yes.
Kinsella, yes.
Okay, brings us up to the December 13th, 2021 policy meeting minutes. Any additions or corrections?
I move that we accept the Policy Committee meeting minutes as submitted. Second.
I'll second.
It's been moved by Kinsella and seconded by Appleby that the December 13th, 2021 Policy Committee meeting minutes be approved as submitted. Roll call would be Appleby.
Yes.
Kinsella, yes. Hobbs.
Yes.
Barcy.
Yes.
Free Partner.
Yes. Okay, we're going to move on to the treasurer's financial report. So Rich, your debut.
Yes, be gentle. Okay, as it's my first time, if I forget something or you have questions, just please chime in. So we're going to start with the fund activity investment balances of November 2021. It's the sheet that looks like this. It's a one sheet, not stapled. Single sheet. Okay. As you can see on here, as in previous months, it's got, prior year and expenses. The only thing of note on here that I'm noting at this time, or want to bring up to you, is last month Mary mentioned in the special reserve fund, an OSB CD that we had renewed. This reflects that change that she was discussing at that time. Okay. And so forth. The income from that is, if you follow over, is in this report. Okay. And the next one I go to is the one that's in portrait mode, which it looks like this.
The district financial report?
District financial report, July 1st through November 30th, 2021. Okay. Yes, exactly. So what I'm going to do is, every month, just because I like math so much, I'm going to, we're right now at 41.7% of our yearly. So 5 months out of 12 is 41.7. So on the right-hand side, you see the percentages. That's just a thumbnail of what, you're never going to have it right on target because some things become cyclically or come at certain times, like insurance is paid at certain times in the year. So if you look at insurance, it only says 10%, but that'll be caught up when we pay the insurance, for example. So we're still property taxes. Dribbling in, we're at 99.2%, and, I mean, we may or may not have dribbles, but we pretty much got it all, so don't expect property taxes. And you can follow it down on the revenue. Everything is pretty much according to, the way it has been. In disbursements, we see our payroll expenses is below the 41%, but we've had not full-time people this whole time in these 5-month period. We're thinking of this 5-month period. So that's always going to be a little bit behind for this year because our temporary workers is higher because we had some people in temporary. The only thing I want to note that I learned here actually today is in programming. You can see it's at 6.6%. We have a lot of, so you say that's really low, and it is low, but we have a lot of things planned. And I say Yana and her staff have a lot of things planned. The other thing I learned today is we still, out of that, in that third column of 15,450, 3,000 plus, and I don't have the exact number, I apologize. 3,000 plus was a transfer from last year, so that will mess with the percentage too, because we got to spend that 3,000 and change from last year. So yeah, that was before I was on the board, so I don't have the details on that exactly yet. But there are a lot of things coming up, that number of programming, because of various reasons. We just haven't had a lot of programs lately, but it is coming up with people back. Public relations has been minor here, but we expect that, as we need it to come back. Everything else is pretty much kind of where you'd expect. I mean, supplies will come and go as we need supplies. The collection, I know the collection is going to be gaining steam from the bills I'm seeing and discussing with Yana, that we're going to be continuing adding to our collections. So in building fund, I think once we talk about some of these other things in a later building and maintenance, and in the future, you'll see that coming back more towards spring, because a lot of things we're looking at probably will be more of a spring type of thing. Okay?
Can I just ask one, well, this is kind of more for the director, but programming too, our summer is a huge programming. So, I mean, I thought of that after the last month, is that more gets spent prior to the summer because of the extra summer programming that's done, especially with other kids. Yeah. Something I thought of.
So, and this other sheet is basically a breakdown of this sheet.
Right.
So it's kind of a breakdown of this. So that's more in specific. There's no need to go through it because this is a summary, and this is.
The adjusted working budget? Is that the one you're talking
Yeah.
about?
Yes.
That's
yes,
what I thought, yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So this we can get in more nitty gritty.
Okay.
And if there's any questions about any of that?
Not this one.
Yeah, that one's just kind of a more in-depth of this single sheet. Okay. Is there any questions? I may have missed some things from time to time, because,
Just a real quick questions on the check dispersed.
check dispersed, we'll go
Oh,
over
we're
in a
not
minute.
there yet, sorry.
Yeah, that's part two.
Yes, that's next, that's part two. Yeah, I knew that, I apologize,
That's
my
part
fault.
two.
Okay, yes, that is.
So,
So should we have a motion then?
Yes.
then we're gonna need a motion
Yes,
to,
that was my-
file this report for,
Audit.
to audit. Thank you. I couldn't come up with the word.
A second for that motion?
I'll second.
Okay, Ann?
Yeah.
Roll call.
It has been moved by Appleby and seconded by Barcy that the financial reports be submitted for audit as presented. Roll call would be Appleby,
Yes.
Barcy,
Yes.
Hobbs.
Yes.
Kinsella, yes. Free Partner?
Yes.
Okay.
And then we're gonna move on to this other two-sheet, the checks disbursement for November 2020. Just a couple things I'm gonna point out here is, you'll see it at the bottom of the first page, 30,000 online transfer from money market to general fund checking. That's something we do every month, so you should see that every month. And it's usually right around that $30,000 mark, so. The other thing on the second page, we'll see deposit weekly receipts. It's on there 3 times. It's on the top line. That indicates that we are doing the weekly receipt deposits. I know this will come up also in the policies coming up, so I just wanted to point out that that has been done. You'll see our return check for no signature. That was taken care of. It was more of an oops. So that was returned and reissued. And off of that, I guess I'm open to questions, and I may have to, with Yana's help here, since I'm just jumped into this. So does anybody have any questions on anything particular? I know you said.
You answered it.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Sorry I did that out of order.
No, no problem. Oh, the other thing I'd like to note in here, you see shelving for 2 closets. We do have shelving in those closets now, and it's awesome. So,
More usable.
more usable. I think it's well done. So, the way I'm going to handle this in the future is, if anybody has any suggestions, let me know. But I'm just going to kind of run down kind of what we just did. So, if anybody wants it differently, please, for heaven's sakes, let me know.
Very concise.
Good job.
And that's all I have at this
You need
time.
a Motion.
Okay, so we need a motion to approve the bills.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
It has been moved by Appleby and seconded by Hobbs that the bills be approved as presented. Sorry. All right, Appleby.
Yes.
Hobbs.
Yes.
Barcy.
Yes.
Kinsella, yes. Freepartner.
Yes. Okay, we are to the president's report, and unfortunately, I have to tell you that we have a slight problem. Well, I hope it's slight anyway. Jan and I are both hoping it is. When we put together the ordinance 21-1, made that, we did that back in June, made that mistake of not changing 21 to 22. So here we sit with our meetings, unfortunately, January blankety blank 2021. So we're in the process of figuring out how we can make that correction. We know that everybody, that comes to our meetings knows that the meeting is the 3rd Wednesday of the month. But we do have to figure out how to make this right. So, my fault. I'm sure I did it.
How do we anticipate? Is that something we're talking to the lawyer about, or do we need a new?
Yeah,
Okay.
we are.
Okay. That's just a question.
Yeah,
Probably
well,
just a
we
new
figure
motion.
that, it is an ordinance, so.
Right.
we're gonna have
If
to figure
there's
out
some
what to
kind of
do.
an amendment or something.
Yeah, we
Something to
did
go
have a
over.
little something prepared, but we're gonna wait until we hear from Phil.
Okay.
So, sorry about that, people. I hope it doesn't bite us in the butt. Okay, director's report.
We have completed email migration to Microsoft Office 365, which has improved features, and I hope that everyone will like it better than our previous email platform. We added library domain email accounts for 3 employees. They used to have their personal emails to conduct library business, well, not anymore. Submitted the $10,925 emergency protective measures COVID-19 grant application to FEMA, which should, I hope, will reimburse us for all our COVID-related expenses up until now. Renegotiated the copier contract with Marco, which issued a $796 credit based on our May 21 annual service payment. We prepaid and now we are going to get money back. The AUP audit has begun. We asked Lutherbach and Amen if it would be possible to potentially merge the AUP audit into the forensic audit. The auditors feel that at this time it is too early for them to make any recommendations. They will discuss this with the library later. We asked auditors about this because we followed up on our conversation with the community members who offered to pay for the audit, for the forensic audit. So this is still under review. So far, FOIA requests cost the library about $56,000. It includes accounting and legal expenses as well as Nolan's, Liner's, Allison's, and Harder's payroll, not counting sick, holiday, vacation. It does not include Sir Duke's payroll, paper and toner costs, and copier wear and tear. The first 6 months of FOIAs were mostly printed. The IMRF rate for the calendar year 2022 is lower than 2021. It's 12.93% compared to 14.51%. In 2022, the IDS rate will be higher due to the unemployment claims, 5.8 to 5% in 22 compared to 0.675 in 2021. The library anticipated and budgeted for the higher IDS rate. January 22 state minimum wage increase does not affect the library staff. We repaired roof leak. NICAR has partially fixed the damaged parking lot. They will be back to complete repairs. They have completed the major part that we were concerned about. We have created letters to Santa mailbox and added Christmas greenery to the library exterior and installed planters at the entrance.
The
Look very
decorations are
nice.
gorgeous, yeah, they did
Thank
a
you.
really nice job.
Thank you. We moved them
Yeah.
inside in anticipation for
Of the wind.
The wind,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Thank you. And yes, and programs, there were 28 patrons who attended library programs in November. Professional development, 4 professional development events attended by our employees, Hoopla Administration, Prairie Cat Essentials, Revista's demo. Revistas is our periodicals vendor.
And is that now, you did the demo and all of that because you're now online with
Yes.
that? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We are going to do it online. We eliminated paper check-in and,
I have a quick,
Yes.
did you do the Prairie Cat?
yes.
And how did that, are you finished with that yet, or do you still have some more sessions to go through?
The rest, this was required.
Okay.
But the rest will be up to me for just to
Your
familiarize
knowledge
myself.
and understanding.
Yes.
Are you now able to go in though and make the changes and updates to Prairie
They
Cat?
will not, it turns out that Prairie Cat administrators, system management.
right.
They do not allow anyone to make any changes. I guess I was just used to doing it myself.
Right.
At my previous libraries, and I assumed that I could just go in and do what I'm used to doing, but it's not.
But because it's a system.
Yes.
I wondered about that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I used to have, even within the system, I
You used
used
to
to
be
have a
able to.
lot of freedom of what I could do, but not here. And it's been controlled by, they have different set of rules.
Right.
Yes, but I will be able to tell them what we would like to change, if we would like to change anything, and they'll do it for us.
Right, so you don't do it, but you send
Yes.
it in, and then they will be able to make
Yes.
those corrections or changes as you need them for, Seneca.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I think that has a lot to do with the fact that there are many libraries in Prairie Cat that don't have a certified person, that don't have a trained cataloger. Okay, I just was curious, cause I know last
Yes,
month.
we talked about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
last month you said you were gonna do the training, so I
Yeah.
was just curious how that went. Okay.
Yes, and one employee attended Rail Strategic Plan 1 and 2
Oh, good.
webinars. Print, book, and AV circulation by transaction type. Checkouts in November compared to October were down by 20 items. At the same time, there were more holds placed in November than in October. And usually Novembers are slower and Decembers are slower because of there are holidays, and the usage statistics are usually lower in November and December. Overall, it's about the same. It's compared to October, and much higher than what we had in November 2020 during COVID. Electronic item checkout and download overdrive 402 times compared to 446 in October. The total for overdrive, Access 360, and Hoopla for November was 521 compared to October 21, 547. And November 2020 was much higher because people were
Right.
So it's the only way
staying
to
home.
get it, yeah.
Interlibrary loan it's the same pattern as, and we lend more, we loan more than we borrow. And it's somewhat of a concern for me. I think that we should be about the same, but we may be able to control it, or we may be not. It's dictated, those settings are dictated by the library system, by Prairie Cat. And I haven't had a chance to look at our settings yet, which the Prairie Cat would be able to change for us.
Yes.
But I haven't looked at them.
Right, okay.
I would rather have 50-50 or
Yeah.
get more incoming than outgoing into
But I
library
do,
loans.
yeah, I think that can be adjusted within those settings.
Yes,
Within
yes.
Prairie Cat, yeah.
And miscellaneous items, what we have, items added to catalog in November, we added 560 compared to 328 in October. FOIA requests filled in November 14, 29 in October. When we count FOIA requests, we count them by the number of the contact, which could have, one request could have 3, 4, 5, 10 items, but we don't break them like that. We just count the one time when we get approached by people who are looking for FOIAs. So in sometimes those statistics may be misleading because they don't include multiple
How
items
extensive
that
they
yes. Computer used by patrons, the same in October as in November, 14, and 3 new library cards issued in November compared to 8 in October. And that's it.
Thank you, nicely done.
Thank you.
It's nice to see the increase in Hoopla. I know you've done some extra advertising with Hoopla.
Yeah, there's cards out there now too, plus bookmarks,
They,
plus,
they
yeah.
sent us some materials
Oh,
to
yeah.
distribute.
Try not to talk
Okay.
about hoopla, I'll get off. Everybody wants to know. Okay, I'll tell you. Go ahead.
Okay, we're to committee reports, personnel. Oh, she's not here.
Do you want me to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on
Yeah.
it, so. All right, so we had the meeting on November 29th. And Margie was there, I was there, Paula was there, and Yana. The discussion focused on the areas of employee benefits, job descriptions, social media, electronic use policies. We were able to acquire some sample policies and sections of personnel handbooks from both Morris and Cole City libraries. Went through quite a bit of that stuff. HR source that we are actually using as our basic one. As we go through it, we have to put a lot of notations in there. We did talk about updating and maintaining a new personnel policy. We're going to continue reviewing the HR source handbook. The prioritized areas, the one that we're really focusing on, and we actually got 2 complete policies from area libraries, so we're reviewing those. We're going to talk about those at the next meeting.
Which is tomorrow.
Tomorrow afternoon, correct, yes. Just to go through those and see what we need, what not. As we get that, we're going to give that to Yana, and she'll go through, put her ideas into it, and then have legal look at it. We should hopefully have some movement on that tomorrow then.
Thank you. Policy.
Okay. There are 2 policies that we're going to ask for approval this evening, the cash policy and the purchasing policy. The cash policy is really how we're bringing in cash and then depositing weekly, and how that's being done. The purchasing policy is really one that is pretty much dictated by the state. If you noticed in the policy, it is pretty much referenced in the state. The only addition is the last paragraph that allows, and I don't have it in front of you, but if you do, that would be fabulous. There it is, this
Yeah,
one.
okay.
That it's, if there's a capital item of $2,000 or more, that the director needs to bring it to the board. So anything, a capital item, piece of furniture, a new lectern, something like that, that needs to be purchased, she can go ahead and purchase if it's under 2,000. If it's over 2,000, bring it to the board. Otherwise, the rest is pretty much as it is from the Secretary of State's office recommendation for the purchase policy. We are working, the travel and expense reimbursement policy is pretty much what was approved with Resolution 2101 in April. And except we are working to update the form that people fill out if they travel and need a reimbursement. So that's all on one paper without a long narrative, just a fill in the blank and submit with receipts. That's a big thing. So we hope to have that done for the January meeting. We're also working very closely with the credit card policy on how many credit cards do we have, who has access to those cards, who can sign for those cards, things like that, so that we have a very succinct credit card policy, and that too we're very close on and should have something together for January. We're going to also talk about the gift and donation policy. I know, Lynn, you missed the last meeting. You were busy with the food bank, but something that we'll discuss with you because you helped write the policy that's currently there and what needs to be updated with that. So our next meeting is January 11th at 2022 at 9:30 in the morning. We could not meet this week as we usually do, and then there were conflicts the week after. So it's not our regular scheduled time, but it is January 11th at 9:30. Any questions on policy?
Okay, building and maintenance.
Well, not since we've done the 2 closets. not much new has happened because we're waiting for spring. On most of it, we had a leak that has been fixed. I don't think there's anything else, is there?
Well, like she noted, NICOR took care of their
Right, the
duties
whole-
out here. Had,
Is that it?
the roof leak, what else do we have?
Where was the roof leak?
It was right here, right
Oh.
around this area,
Okay.
in the main, yeah.
In the main library,
Yeah.
okay.
We'll be doing the roof repair in segments, stages. Items for spring weather stripping, painting, and the patio are going to be done in, the spring.
Good. Anything else? Okay, Finance Committee.
Well, that's just me. And no, we haven't got anything to report at this time. It is my intention to schedule, and Paul, I'm gonna ask for another person on the
absolutely.
Finance Committee. So I'm gonna ask.
It may be
that.
January, or February.
So, and I would like to hit something in January, but we don't have a time. It's gonna depend on whoever that person's schedule is and what we can work out. So, yes, I have no more than that for you, but I would like to get a meeting in January, to start, getting our stuff together, and then maybe at some point have a cross meeting with a member of the policy committee, figure out a way to do that. But at some point, we're gonna have to get the other person on finance, we're gonna have to get our feet in there,
Yeah.
in a grasp, and then I'd love to be able to do something real by February, but have a meeting in January. With,
After the regular board meeting.
probably after the regular board meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna, well, you're gonna have to appoint somebody and da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
So,
Hopefully we can do that in January.
gosh, I hope so.
I hope so too. Okay, thank you very much. There is no old business. We'll move on to new business, and we will entertain some motions for these two policies that we would like to get in our policy book.
I move that the cash policy be approved as presented.
Second.
Okay. Is there any discussion?
I'll just say I think it's a good policy.
Yeah.
Oh,
it-
I think
yeah.
so.
I want to compliment the policy committee. I think it's a very good.
Thank you. And Director?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not overly done, which I like policies to be simple but firm, so,
Just had double checks and, yeah.
yes, yes,
Kinsella, yes. Barcy?
Yes.
Appleby?
yes.
Hobbs?
Yes.
Partner?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to the purchasing policy.
I move that the purchasing policy be approved as presented.
Second.
Any discussion on that one?
Looks good.
Be very clear.
Okay. Kinsella, yes. Appleby?
Yes.
Hobbs?
Yes.
Barcy?
Yes.
Partner?
Yes. Okay, during our executive session, we have decided that we will put off the new.
Let's do
Oh.
these in order.
in- okay.
We
So
have
over
three.
here, excuse me. Yeah.
The order in which they
Okay,
were
so,
presented.
exactly. Okay, so the
HSA allotment.
HSA allotment, we need a motion to approve.
All right, I've
HSA.
moved to fund the HSA to be funded in the amount of $1,500 for full-time employees for the calendar year of 2022 to be deposited quarterly.
And I will second that one.
Roll call?
Barcy,
Yes.
Appleby,
Yes.
Kinsella, yes, Hobbs,
Yes.
Free Partner,
Yes. Okay, the second motion refers to the holiday bonuses. Lynn?
Lynn, you have
You have a
Motion.
motion?
the.
For the holiday
bonuses.
The holiday bonuses.
do you have it there?
Sure.
Rich?
Okay, so I'll just go ahead, you don't have to search. I'll make the motion to approve the holiday bonuses for the hourly staff at $120 for our full-time staff and $75 for our part-time staff for their holiday bonuses this year.
And this is hourly.
Hourly,
Hourly
yes.
employees, yes.
Yeah, hourly employees.
I'll second that. All right, it has been moved by Appleby and seconded by Kinsella to approve holiday bonuses for full-time hourly employees at $120 and for part-time hourly employees at $75.
Roll call?
Roll call vote. Appleby.
Yes.
Kinsella, yes. Hobbs.
Yes.
Barcy.
Yes.
Free Partner.
Yes. Do this one then.
Yeah.
That one. This- Okay. So we discussed during the closed session, the closed session meeting minutes, and I believe we have a motion.
Okay, the executive minutes were reviewed. I reviewed them in November. I did go through the last 6 months as required by law, those minutes. And at this time, I am moving that the past 6 months of executive session minutes were reviewed by me, but will not be released for publication.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call. Kinsella? Yes. Appleby?
Yes.
Hobbs?
Yes.
Barcy?
Yes.
Free Partner?
Yes. Trustee?
Yeah.
Okay, so during our closed session, we did discuss the need for a new trustee, and we are willing to wait until January and give our anyone who might be interested in that open position or any other open position an opportunity to hand in a resume. And we have also decided that those would be due.
They need to be into the library by close of business or emailed on January 7th, Friday,
And emailed to director.
to the
Director.
director.
To the director.
Yana
Yes.
at Seneca or SenecaLibrary.net.
Right, right.
And we'll have that information on the website. And then, once we get the applications, we will be doing interviews on Wednesday, January 12th, starting at 5 p.m. We did have 2 people that had applied already, so we do want to get with them to make sure that they can set up a time for their interviews. I think that's
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 about
everything
it.
we needed,
Yeah,
right?
we just, since the resignation was just accepted today, we wanted to
Mhm.
make sure, so if you're interested or you know somebody who might be interested, we want to be open to getting as many people in who might be interested as possible.
Okay.
That's it.
I guess we are ready for a motion for adjournment.
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay.
Surprise, surprise.
I love the second motions.
Okay.
It has
so-
been moved by Hobbs and seconded by Appleby that the meeting be adjourned. Hobbs?
Yes.
Yes. Appleby?
Yes.
Barcy?
Yes.
Kinsella, yes. Free partner?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
At 7:56. All right. All right.